Hello everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and last night we got the first sneak peek at Season 6 of The Masked Singer. We were introduced to a new costume, got the first clues, and we have our first pitch correct audio. Today we're going to go through everything we saw last night. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. So, just in case if you missed it, last night at 8 p.m. after the, not the late Sunday Night Football game, but the earlier game, Fox decided to air a sneak preview to The Masked Singer and Alter Ego. Both shows, fantastic. Alter Ego, we've done a few videos about. It's a really great show. I'll put a link to that video in the description below. But most importantly, it was the sneak preview for The Masked Singer. A lot of changes and things that we have discussed on this channel before. The new Take It Off buzzer, the new format, and the way that they're changing it up so that the groups really don't see each other. Just the final person in each group will battle out at the end. But I wanted to go ahead and take a moment to break everything down. Once again, I have videos for the first performances, for the clues. Pretty much I took the entire sneak preview and put it on here. So those I'll have either in the corner or down below. But let's go ahead and start off with the new costume. Last night, we were introduced to the Pepper. And take a look at this costume. It is really cool looking. We do know that it is a girl. Nick mentioned it was a she. So we know that it's a girl, and if I read my notes from last night's show, we know that it's a girl. And we saw the Hollywood sign behind her, and her big clue was the neutron, that little thing that kind of buzzed up. It's either a neutron, or if you go back to like Halloween stores, they have that electronic, like, has like a tinfoil in the middle, and then it lights up, and you put your hand on it, and it looks like it's electrocuting you. So those are really good clues right there. We did get audio, which, if you stick to me at the end of the video, we'll go through the pitch correct audio. But that was the biggest thing, and a lot of people said to me, Joey, that costume looks very, very familiar. Haven't I seen that somewhere? And you have. If you watch the Mexican version of The Masked Singer, they had one called the Jalapeno, and it looks similar. It's not 100% the same, but it looks very similar. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on with the rest of the episode. Through the entire thing, we got to see clues for the other contestants. Now those clues, I'm going to break them down for you, and once again, pitch correct audio at the end. The first one was the baby clue, and the baby says, "This pacifier sucker never claimed to be classy, especially when I get gassy." So maybe this is a celebrity that maybe had an issue where they farted on TV, and it was very loud. And, you know, they owned up to it, and it's kind of just rolled along with it because they're saying that they're not classy. So think about any viral sensations that took place in the thousands that maybe a celebrity that did that. Next was the caterpillar that pretty much said that a tailor might know who it is, and they're referring to Taylor Swift. I think the caterpillar is a guy. Listen for the pitch correct audio later on. The hamster, its clue was a whistle. The skunk's clue was Elvis. Okay, a lot of people are saying Priscilla because of the way the skunk's hair is. Really good guess. We don't know anything else yet. Next was mallard, which was a red phone, which could mean many different things. Is it a red phone that's something you would see like in the White House back in the 90s when really Soviets and the United States were going back and forth? I mean, that could be anywhere from the 60s to the 90s. But it could be something like that. It could mean that they were playing an emergency personnel on a show. Maybe someone who worked in an ER on a show, or 911, something like that. After that, we had the bull, which was lions and tigers. Everyone keeps pointing to one famous person. Not going to mention who it is yet. But people are pointing at one person. Next was a cupcake, and everyone saw the compass pointing north. Could that be a clue right there? After that was a banana split, and we saw 3 dice. Which is weird, because don't you normally only use 2 when you play? Think about that right there. Maybe the numbers mean something. After that was the Queen of Hearts, which was a horse. And the Queen of Hearts sang for us in French. So the celebrity does sing in French, and it's a female. Here's a little clip of her singing. Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche. After that was the Jester, and we saw roses. So maybe this is a singer that wrote a song about roses, or is known for the Rose, or maybe they have a child with the name Rose, or their wives maybe named Rose. See how you have to think really wide with these clues, really have nothing else to base this off of. After that was the octopus, and we saw cookies being dumped into milk. So is this like a Got Milk campaign? Is it someone that's done a campaign for Chips Ahoy? Maybe their nickname is Cookie or Milky. But hopefully not Milky. Milky sounds awful. After that was the beach ball, and we saw 2 Band-Aids with an X on it. So maybe it's someone who got hurt in their career and maybe had to take a break. Now remember that we think this costume has 2 people in it. The reason why, and it wasn't revealed last night in the show, we revealed this a while ago, maybe a week and a half ago, that on the other side of the beach ball is a completely different face. If you don't know that video, you can go ahead and check that out. I'll have that in the links below, probably somewhere in the description. And the last clues we had were from the Dalmatian. The Dalmatian's clue was eagles. Now, not saying that maybe this is a Philadelphia Eagles player. That would be amazing. Could you imagine if it was like Carson Wentz or something like that? But he does have a whole football attire, so it could be someone who does play football for the Eagles. I would die if that's the case, because I'm a big Eagles fan. Really big Eagles fan, so that would be really cool. But those were all of the clues that we had from last night's episode. And there are more subtle clues if you actually watch, like the baby. They showed different like stars and moons and things like that. Same thing with the pepper you saw in the background, Hollywood Hills. With the baby, it also looked like they were running down either downtown LA or downtown Manhattan or Midtown Manhattan. So you have to pay attention to those small clues. Now before we get into the pitch correct audio, I just want to remind you guys of one important thing. While you're making all of these guesses, you have to go back to the master list of clues. The master list of clues is pretty much the main list that Nick Cannon gives us at the beginning of the season that adds up like all the Grammy nominations, the Grammy wins, Oscar wins, things like that. You have to keep that in mind when you're doing your guesses, because if I remember off the top of my head, I think there's 85 Grammy nominations, and I think maybe 75 wins? Something like that. Don't quote me right now because I don't have it in front of me. That means there is someone really big on this show. Like, because you guys already been throwing some massive names out at me. I've heard like Christina Aguilera. I've heard Celine Dion. I've heard Britney Spears. I mean, you guys are throwing really big names at me. There is going to be someone big on the show. We don't know who it is yet, though Celine Dion has sang French before. Right? She's put out a whole French album where she sings in French the entire time. But she also has more of a nasy voice when she sings. So I don't know. There's a lot of really good clues out there. And right now, we can't really make full guesses on things until we get more of those clues. We need more of them. And now it's time for the pitch correct audio. This is the thing that really started this YouTube channel. For those who have no idea what I'm talking about, we talked about it last night. Every single episode, we have these new clue packages, or maybe the celebrity speaking to the judge, but Fox is smart. They said, we can't let them use their real celebrity voice because if we do, people are going to recognize it, and then there's no fun in that. Now, I'm an executive audio producer in New York City, and so I know good audio. And so when Fox takes their audio, they go ahead, they speed it up and pitch it up, that way you have no idea what it is. Now, doing what I do, I figured I could slow it down, I could pitch correct it, that way we can hear the real celebrity voice. And so we've been doing this since episode 1 of season 1 of The Masked Singer. We've got them all right with the exception of one. That's right, the Eagle, Dr. Drew. Now once we get this pitch correct audio together, what we do is we take our top 5 guesses of that character, we compare the audio, and then we have our final guess. Now because this is the beginning of the season, it's hard to gauge where they are with this pitch correct system. It could be a 3rd, a 5th, a 7th. It could be a minor 4th. Who knows at this point? So this is kind of just me basing it off of just what kind of just sounds good at the moment. Until we get our first reveal and we can kind of break down how they're doing it, it doesn't really help out. But I went ahead and pitch correct 3 of the voices for you guys because we heard the pepper talk, we heard the caterpillar talk, and we've also heard the baby talk. And so I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of each of them, the original audio, and then play their new pitch correct audio. And then you guys guess below who you think it is. Here we go.
You might not know who I am yet, but I can can say a tailor would, especially this one.
You might not know who I am yet, but I can say a tailor would, especially this one.
This pacifier sucker never claimed to be classy, especially when I, well, get gassy.
This pacifier sucker never claimed to be classy, especially when I, well, get gassy.
I'm fiery, feisty, and ready to make your eyes tear up. With my emotional performances, of course.
I'm fiery, feisty, and ready to make your eyes tear up. With my emotional performances, of course.
So there you guys go. In the comment section, go ahead and write baby, caterpillar, and pepper, and put dashes and put your best guess next to it. I want to know who you think these people are. We have so many clues we need in order to really make some final guesses, and you know, I don't start doing my official guesses until we've seen each group twice. So that's week number 4 when we finally get my official guesses in. But I want to know your guys' guess. Let me know in the comment section, and I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'm Joey. Stay safe, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye.